Blessings everyone, welcome back to Elite Jamaica. So today we're at the St. Nicholas Abbey, and the St. Nicholas Abbey is located in St. Peter's, Barbados, and it's the oldest Jacobean mansion of its time. It's the oldest one on the country. It was the first Jacobean mansion built in the country, so it's actually one of the oldest houses in Barbados. And the surprising thing about this place is that it still has its original borders, meaning that it still has its 400 acres. They still have the cane fields, the gullies, the windmill, the watermill. They still do the sugar, they still do the rum and all of that. And I'll be giving you guys an exclusive tour of that. I'll be doing the train ride, the rum tasting, I'll be viewing the great house, the ruins on the plantation and all of that. So, y'all follow me. Barbados flag, the United States flag, and a couple other Caribbean flags.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to the St. Nicholas Tours for 2 p.m. train ride. Welcome aboard Shepherd Valley. That's the name of our... You're right there at Cherry Tree now. Our train is going to come to a stop. The handbrakes are going to be applied to the frontmost carriage and to the carriage at the back. Jumper 5 will then be disengaged from the frontmost carriage and will go onto a turntable, where 4 to 5 of our guests for fun can volunteer in turning the locomotive around. Please note that we do take involuntary volunteers as well, so don't give me nor the fireman eye contact. We will pick you, yes? After that locomotive is turned around, it will then travel alongside the first class. Enjoy your champagne while you can, yes, as you will become the back carriage on the way down. For my guests who are here in the back carriage, no worries guys, we will become first class, yes. So enjoy our champagne and of course juice for the little ones as well, yes. And of course the middle carriage, we remain the middle carriage. So ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be up there for another 15 minutes where you guys will have a chance to take some photos on the outside panoramic view there at Cherry Tree Hill, displaying the Scotland district.
I don't know, I thought she had the degree flag out just now, so that way, you're right, cause she had it like that, so that way, do so. Yeah.
So it's a panoramic view there at Cherry Tree Hill, displaying the Scotland district and the eastern coastline. We also have vendors up there selling handcrafts and portrait. We even have the coconut guys selling some coconut water with a little tickle of rum. Also, feel free when the locomotive is recoupled, you can come on down for a chance to take some photos in and around the engine, on the footplate of Jepper 5, and even a chance to toot the whistle. And please note, that's not just for the kids, because for the adults, we are all big little kids, yeah? So we'll have a chance to take some photos on that footplate as well, even a chance to toot the whistle. You'll also be given some history about the railway line that we once had in the past. Between 1881 and 1937, 25 miles of track, 98 bridges, 10 train stations right here on this island. Leaving from the western side of Barbados, heading all the way across to the eastern side, ending in a village called Plain St. Andrew, which is just below the view that you will see as you arrive at Cherry Tree Hill. And there goes the whistle, ladies and gentlemen. Lots of history on our property. We sit on 410 acres. We have a tree here on the property. It's called the Hura crepitas tree, or the sandbox tree, over 400 years old. Speaking of trees, if you cast your eyes here on the left, you're going to see two massive mahogany trees. These are two of the oldest West Indian mahogany trees to be introduced to the island back in the 1760s by a very prominent name here in Barbados, Sir John Gay Ali, as the Mount Gay Distilleries was named after him. He was also the overseer over our grey house. Speaking of our grey house, right through the trees on the left is our grey house, built in 1658. It's the Jacobean design, one of 3 of its kind in the Western Hemisphere. Lots of enhancements done to the property throughout the years. We have Annabelle, our award-winning distillery. We have a steam mill here, which is over 135 years old. We have a museum here with lots of historical artifacts, and many other departments that were diligent with full production here on the property. You have seen our man-made lake with over 1 million gallons of water. We have koi, tilapia, and many other species of fish. Not encouraging no fishermen to come here though, okay? The full production is done here. We plant our sugarcane here. It is harvested in 12 months. We hand cut that sugarcane, sometimes by machine as well. It is set down by our John Deere tractors, where we crush that sugarcane. It is then filtered and boiled, and that syrup and extraction is sent down to Annabelle, our distillery, as we begin the process of making our rum, and it is stored right here. Over to the right, you see a lovely, astonishing view of the forestry that sits here on our property. We see the lovely royal palm trees, along with the mahogany trees introduced in the 1760s. If you observe to the far right as well, you'll also see the historic windmill, which ran during the 1800s. So the property was built in 1658 by a British planter, Mr. Benjamin Barringer. He and his wife and 3 children resided on the property. However, Benjamin was only able to enjoy the property for 3 years, as he would have disputes between him and his business partner, John Yeaman, who had a plantation to the northern side of the property called the Greenland Plantation. So they would have disputes over land ownership and border lines, and also a secret affair between Benjamin's wife and John Yeaman, the business partner. In 1661, after a heated argument with his wife, Benjamin left the property and went down to Spicestown, as he had many friends there with estates. When he went there, he was poisoned. And only 10 weeks later, his widow wife got married to the business partner on the other side, John Yeaman, bringing the property together to over 410 acres. Talk about the love affair, yeah? Many have questioned who may have given Benjamin that last dosage. Some say it's John Yeaman, the business partner. From my research, I think it's the wife. Why? She outlived all 3 of her husbands. Think about it, yes? The next section of track we're now entering is called the Sunken Gully. This section of track is deemed to be the original pathway to the Great House. Not where you guys came in, but in this very section of track. The question may be asked, how do I know that? If you cast your eyes here on the right and we look up, we see what is famously known as the royal palm trees. So we can see four very close to us in this section here. If you continue looking to the right, you see a lineage of them as they heads on down. At this given time, that frontmost carriage is about to cross over that original pathway. If you observe to right on your left, to your right, we will travel just between the royal palm trees, heading through the pathway all the way down to our Great House. So historically here in the Caribbean, royal palm trees were an indication that there was a sugar plantation in close proximity. Just think about it. When you were on the island in the 1800s, we didn't have no TripAdvisor, no GPS, nowhere to send reviews complaining about not finding your destination. So of course, once you saw the abundance of hundreds of royal palm trees planted on one landmass, you knew that there was a sugar plantation very, very close by. As we're heading through the cutting, if you observe the walls here on the cutting, we see the very architecture of this beautiful island, more specifically what's referred to as coral brain fossils, which indicates that Barbados was once under water. The next section we're entering is called the quarry. It's over on our left. However, many trees and plants have this section blocked. But the material that was used to build our Great House was extracted in this very section you see here on the left. The Warren family have plans of constructing a theater right over here. On our right is our Victorian-style trestle bridge going 300 feet across the Mahogany Avenue, 40 feet tall above the Mahogany Road. And since January the 12th, 2025, we have extended our tracks for another 2 miles. So our next stop will be at the Cherry Tree Hill Station. Our train is going to come to a stop. The handbrakes will then be applied to the frontmost carriage and to the carriage at the back. Chapter 5 will then be disengaged from the frontmost carriage and will go on to a turntable where 4 to 5 of our guests can volunteer in turning the locomotive around. Remember guys, you can always point at someone from behind, your sibling, it can be your wife or husband, or anyone, just point at them from behind, they won't expose you, they will be chosen. And remember, to put on a good show, it's an easy turn, we're just going to make it a little hard for the cameras. So win a Oscar this afternoon. So we're going to be here for another 15 minutes. Departure time from up here will be at 2:30. So our train is going to come to a stop. Our fireman will be applying the handbrake to the frontmost carriage. I myself will be applying the handbrake to the carriage at the back. Chapter 5 will then be disengaged from the frontmost carriage and will go on to the turntable, where we'll be looking for those 5 volunteers or involuntary volunteers as well. Once you give that fireman eye contact, he will pick you as well too, okay? So we'll be looking for those 5 volunteers. Once that locomotive is then turned around, vendors selling handcrafts and portraits. It's a beautiful view displaying the Scotland district and the eastern coastline. So ladies and gentlemen, you are now free to disembark. So we're going to be looking for those 5 volunteers and turning the locomotive around.
So we're looking for just about 5 volunteers. Anyone?
Do what, sorry?
In just turning the locomotive around. Yeah? Enjoy? Okay. So we all remain here, okay?
Okay, off.
Our fireman will turn it halfway and then he's going to
This one shot through the Victoria, boy. Like through the Victoria. Straight way by down here, Victoria. Excuse me, sir. Hello. Back it up. Beep. Beep.
Just for safety, right?
Alright.
This one shot through the Victoria, boy. You give it a bit better tall. Give it a corner to eat.
It's the turn the locomotive. Yeah. For fun. Yeah, I'm there.
Alright, go ahead, sir. Lay down now, like a dog.
Yeah. If you wanna thing, no problem, no stress, right? Yeah.
Do not try that at home.
I know who's down the boy, can't do that.
All of the legs. All of the legs. Please stay there.
Mario, come. Come from over here, Mario.
Zero. Who's that?
Volunteers, come on down, don't be shy. It's only 27 tons and we're stronger than that, yeah?
We could do that.
Coming down to, sir. No, the ladies said they're not working today. They're on vacation and they're relaxing, yes? They'll give the emotional support. Yes.
Is that the end? Is that the end? That's right. See? That's right. So listen up carefully, listen up. On the count of three, we go in this direction. The key is to do it together at the same time. That is very easy. But what we are not doing, correct. So what these three guys are doing, we are not doing the rugby pose, alright? Or the American football stance. So please stop that. We're not here to use our legs and to work hard, just to have some fun. Last instruction, when they shout the command all stop while you're turning it, when they shout the command all stop, you have to shake your hands off immediately. Alright, everyone got that? Alright, let's see. Let's get ready to turn this table on 3, 2, 1. Good job. So you see my back is straight, look at me. Straight in your back, guys. I'm not here to work hard without those legs. I don't want to see any cows pulling, please. I'm going to put them on the pasture where they belong. All cows are on the pasture. Cows, etc. How are you doing? You don't know what you're talking about, Mr. Came on the banana boat this morning. You're right. All stop, hands off. Well done. Easy peasy, easy. Lovely. 27 times, and you guys did it like light work. Thank you.
Volunteers, don't forget to collect your checks from the fireman, alright?
2:30 sharp.
A blank check, yes? That's what we want. Lots of zeros.
I want a check.
Look what the view. How's this, man?
I feel so tired of it. My son got the feet in the green.
So guys, that was the train ride. There's a train right here. And now we're in Cherry Tree Hills. Let me show y'all what this place looks like. Such a lovely view down here.
Excuse me.
nice. Great job.
You have the best spokesperson for you right here.
Actually, this one is going to be nice.
Mr. Charles and J.P. Cave, showing the lifestyle on the plantation during the 1920s. We're also going to see Annabelle, our award-winning distillery. We also have our 135-year-old steam mill, and this is the final day of our cane crushing season. So it's your lucky day. For those who are doing the combo tour, you'll have a chance to see our 135-year-old steam mill as it crushes that sugar cane for the final time for the year. So at this time, the farmer has just completed clearing up that water. We will leave a legal note for that as well. Is our second Virginia, who's patiently waiting by the walk. For that next journey, over 367 years of history. I want to thank you guys once again for choosing us here at the St. Nicholas Abbey Heritage Railway Tours. Thank you.
Bachelor, no? I'm gonna bring the bachelor. I'm gonna bring the bachelor, please.
Where is it? At the home?
No, it's not the bottom of the car. Have enough but you can't film enough.
Here on the right, we're passing the financially. But now the Warren family are now financially able to have the majority of their projects completed. And so we were able to construct our bridge. Just last year, installing that bridge in less than 8 months. The same team who installed the railway lines across to Cherry Trail, they were able to install these railway lines, taking them just under 9 months to have that completed. But we have lots more to do. Planting all over our sections here. We're planting trees, we're planting mahogany trees,
Now record. Now record.
These fields with the left and right will start seeing and we're going to also incorporate cane production as well for the steel industry. Two hubs will across which will be able to transport the freshly cut sugar beets from the field and this is a similar track to the field and then also a similar track to the field and people will not be able to transport the sugar beets from the fields traveling on the same railway line that was on taking the government to the our plan still do not stop here. Short-term railways is supposed to be a location, but we also intend to construct full off-road However, in the past, a little bit different. Here you would have to run alongside the carriages as the train slows down and jump on board to catch the train. But no worries, when you leave yourself some quick combo here, we will come to a complete stop for you. So coming up is our 35-foot guard, and just cut down to create the perfect here across the railway. This is underwater and this is the stone structure. She can install lots of stone structures. She also involved in the also an extension here. We have lots of work to be done. Really on the left is that there is a introduction in this section. We own here in the left is our also see the restored quarry. The distance is in a panoramic view of the northern side of the island. This view point you can see both the northeast and the northwest of the island when you are north. We're looking directly at the parish of St. Lucy, the only parish named after a woman. There's a building that stands out here in the view. It's a big white structure, has that factory setting. We're in the midsection as we travel along, we're going to get an even more vivid view of that. Now that is Mount Gilboa, which is now presently known as the Mount Gay Distillery, the oldest rum distillery in the world, established in 1703. Sharing a very close relationship with us through the by Sir John Gay. Sir John Gay, he was one of the hosts of the 70 years of government. He founded the Abbey School in the parish of St. Andrew. He founded many churches here on the island as well. He was alongside his business partner, John Silver, and he was a holder of the Plantation. When he got married to Christian documents, she and her family were the owners of the Sunken Abbey, along with many other estates. The top will be by the train station. That's for the guests with the yellow bars. Second stop will be by the Philippine Lawn. That's for the guests with the purple and white striped bars. And also for those with the white and dark. At this time, our fireman is looking on the right way to do something very important for us, way to observe what he does. Of course, this is where we're going to pass down to the direction of the train. Please observe and see what our fireman does. And there you go, guys. Some hard work from our firemen. I want to give a round of applause for his hard work and dedication. Oh yes, give it up to our firemen. Very dedicated firemen. However, that's the wrong fireman to call if your house is on fire. Okay? Do not call that fireman. You just arrive at your home, stoke the fire up, make amazing. There's a tree that sits here in the middle section here. The fireman is pointing at it, have those spikes on it in the middle section here. That's called the silk cotton tree. That's a very young one. They can grow up to 18 feet in height. Native to West Africa and Central America, sharing a very close and spiritual connection with many cultures, some call it the God's tree. And for some, the devil's tree. The silk cotton tree is also related to the sandbox tree. We have one here at the property which is open for
Huh?
You're gonna come back on. We're not done. No.
Okay.
visiting us here at the St. Nicholas